Wholesaling is now officially on easy mode. And this is the great thing for you, especially if you have been trying to get your first deal for a while now and you just can't seem to get any traction. Maybe you're cold calling and you're doing all this stuff, not getting anywhere. Maybe you've done a deal in the past, but just couldn't get any more traction. Well, now is your opportunity because in 2025, wholesaling is going to be easier than ever. And that is only if you're going to be doing wholesaling in easy mode. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what easy mode is, and most importantly, what you need to do in order to take advantage of it. It's like having a cheat code, like you playing a video game, and all of a sudden now you've got all this free stuff that they give you in the video game that makes it a lot easier to beat your opponent. That's what we're talking about here. So, what is specifically easy mode in wholesaling? Well, let's first talk about what is not easy, and that is the traditional way of wholesaling. And the traditional way of wholesaling encompasses a variety of different things. First of all, it means that you are focusing on only one market. That means that you're deciding, I'm going to do deals in this particular market. I live in South Florida. So let's say I said, hey, I'm going to do deals in South Florida and South Florida only. And that is going to be my focus. And so what happens is that when you make that your focus and you're limited to that one market, then you are faced with a lot of competition, a lot of market saturation. Everybody's going after the same list, and it just becomes very, very difficult to get a deal done. And you may have experienced or are experiencing this right now. In addition to that, if you're in a local market, it's risky because if something happens in that local market, the market tanks, you're screwed. Right now, for example, Southwest Florida, it is a market that is very difficult. Why? Because there's so many properties on the market right now being sold in terms of, on the open market for retail buyers. And so that means that when a rehabbers are very hesitant right now than buying properties unless they get a really good price. Why? Because once they fix the property, they're going to have a difficult time selling it. And so as a result, you as a wholesaler will have a difficult time getting those properties offloaded. And so if you're in a local market, it's just going to be putting yourself in that situation where if the market tanks, your business tanks with it. In addition to that, traditional wholesaling is about using old, outdated strategies in order to generate motivated sellers. You're relying on cold calling. You're relying on driving for dollars. You're sending out direct mail, which is horribly expensive. And you're also dealing with lead sources that generate a tremendous amount of friction. So you're constantly fighting with sellers because they never reach out to you. They are very aggressive. They don't want to sell. They're telling you, oh, you make me an offer. You're the one that called me, and everything else that you're probably accustomed to. In addition to that, traditional wholesaling has a very high cost and effort required. If you're doing any sort of online marketing and you're specifically targeting very small geographic areas, you're going to pay a lot of money per lead. And if you're brand new in the business, you can't be handling $200 leads, $300 leads, $500 leads. My daughter just recently became a licensed driver, and I'm not going to put her in a Ferrari. I'm not going to put her in a Lamborghini because she's not capable of handling that particular type of vehicle because she's just starting out. The same thing with you. You can't handle these type of leads. And so, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're not great at talking with sellers, you're going to go through, $300 leads like there's no tomorrow. And then you're going to end up wasting a lot of money and not getting anywhere. In addition to that, if you're going to do any sort of cold calling or any sort of outbound endeavor, in order to do that, where it's not just you, that requires cost and effort. Typically a lot of times you're paying $1,500, $2,000 a month just to have cold callers. Plus you're going to get the data and the skip tracing and everything else. So that has a high cost associated with it. It's also limited scalability because, again, in order for you to scale your business, if you have a lot of cold callers, you need more data, you need more skip tracing, you need more humans, you need the management of those humans. So it becomes more difficult to scale that business. Doing deals the traditional way is also more time consuming. Why? Because they're slower deals. The seller didn't reach out to you. You're just injecting yourself into their lives, trying to see if they're interested in selling. They're going to say, sure, I wasn't thinking about it, but make me an offer. So you have to get them to the point where they're thinking, okay, I guess I might sell this thing. And then to finally get to the point where they trust you, and then you get the chance to do the deal. And that takes a while. And so the time it takes in order to get a deal done when you're doing the conventional way is also difficult. And if you're doing it a traditional way, you're stuck in the convincing model. And by the convincing model, meaning that because of the fact that you're dealing with a small number of leads, and you're dealing with property owners that didn't reach out to you, then you have to negotiate hard. You have to convince every lead to close because, again, of the situation with the lead and also the fact that you don't have that many leads. And so then that puts you, especially if you're brand new in the business, you're not really that great at closing. And so now that's going to make it even more difficult. So you can see is all these things will stack up and create an environment where it's really hard to wholesale. Are you interested in having the ultimate real estate lifestyle business, one in which you have warm incoming leads so you never have to do a cold call again, where you don't have to deal with any of the technical minutia? Everything is done for you. You are simply just going to talk to the sellers. We will help you analyze the deals. We will even help you sell the deals and do the transaction coordination and everything. And most importantly, we'll do the deals together, which means that when you win, we win. And that is a great relationship. Click the link in the description to find out more. So what is the easy method? What is the easy mode wholesaling? Well, the easy mode wholesaling is simply, number one, we're going nationwide. So we're going to be operating across multiple markets. And because of that, we're not going to be stuck in any one market if that market tanks. Because of that, we're going to have opportunities in smaller markets that maybe we may not have considered, and smaller markets where there may not be that much competition. And as such, then that gets us a better chance of doing a deal. All this is all these items stack on each other in order to give you a chance to get a deal done in an easier way. Now, let's talk about inbound. So now when we do the easy mode is doing inbound lead generation. We're using strategies such as Facebook, TikTok, and Google ads. And we're focusing on warm leads, sellers that contacted us, that raised their hands and said, yes, I'm interested in speaking with you about my property. You're having pleasant conversations. You're no longer an annoying pest. You are a welcome guest. It's such a profound change in the way that you're going to communicate with these property owners relative to what you were doing before. And so again, these are all things that stack on each other. It's also infinitely more scalable. All it takes, if you were spending $20 a day and you're getting traction and you wanted to get a few more leads, all it takes is for you to go into the ads interface, change a number. You can go from $20 to $35 in a matter of a few seconds. There was no one to hire, no list to download, no records to skip trace. That's why it's so easy to scale when you're using online marketing. In addition to that, online marketing has no overhead because there's no humans. It's you and a laptop, and that's it. It is the easiest model to implement for the ultimate, what I consider to be the ultimate lifestyle real estate business. Now, when you do go nationwide and you go wide, you're also going to have a lower cost per lead. You're going to have leads as little as $15 to $25 a lead, which is critical for you if you're just starting out in the business. You need the reps, you need the practice, you need to be able to talk to as many people as you can. You can't do that with $300 leads. So you're going to do that with $15 to $25 leads. However, that doesn't mean that the leads are crap, because we routinely are doing deals with clients where they are, they're generating somewhere between 35 to 50 leads or so, and then getting a deal. So the cost per lead and the cost per deal is still great, but it just gives you a little bit more flexibility that if you mess a lead up, it's not the end of the world. You're not out hundreds and hundreds of dollars for just that one lead. Now, in addition to that, because of the fact that you're working this entire model virtually, you're not in the local market, everything is run from your laptop, then it affords you the greatest flexibility possible because you're forced to be 100% virtual. That means that you can run this model from your house, from the coffee shop, while on vacation. It doesn't really matter. We do everything virtually. We never physically inspect the properties. We get outside vendors to do that for us at a very affordable cost. Sometimes the sellers will go ahead and take photos of the properties for us. Everything is signed through e-signature. We never visit the title company. Everything is done virtually. So this model affords you the greatest flexibility. In addition to that, and I said this before, now we're in a different model. We're no longer in the convincing business. We're now in the sifting and sorting business, because we get such a large number of leads that if somebody is an ass, if somebody asking way too much money, if somebody is just not really wanting to sell the property, not really motivated, then we could just say the 4-letter magical word. No, it doesn't begin with the letter F. It begins with the letter N. Don't think that way. Next is the magical word here. However, if you're dealing with $300 leads, you're never going to say the word next because it's so painful to throw away a lead that costs $300, and then you're going to be forced to try to do a deal with him. You're going to be forced to try and do either a subject to or some other harebrained strategy as opposed to just doing a simple wholesaling deal. So that's why, again, it's really important to be in a position where you have an overabundance of leads, and therefore, with that, now you have what I called an easy wholesaling business. And the types of leads that we get. This is the example of the type of leads that we get when we're doing ads. And you can see here, right here, these are the different pieces of information that we acquire from a customer once they submit their information. And this is, you can see here the price. We ask for the price up front, what property type it is, whether or not somebody is who's occupying the property, what the condition is, what the motivation is, if the property is listed. So already up front, we have so much information that if all these leads came to you in a period of the next 2 or 3 days, you would very quickly be able to put these in the order of priority and determine, okay, which ones am I going to go for? Which ones I'm maybe not going to call today because I can call them tomorrow? Which ones you may not call at all? But this is the type of flexibility that we want. We want this type of business. And our favorite platform to be able to do this with is Facebook ads for motivated sellers. There's a lot of different avenues that you can go after. But if you are somebody that is just starting with online marketing, and you want to get in an affordable way, you want to transition away from cold calling, you don't want the high cost per lead, you want the lowest complexity, the easiest business that you can run, then Facebook is the platform for motivated sellers. Almost 90% of the deals that we have done this year have all been with Facebook ads for motivated sellers. And the reason for that is that Facebook is great for beginners. And I'm going to go through a couple of different reasons here. Number one is Facebook has the lowest complexity of any platform. It's very simple to set up and run campaigns. Everything is built in. The interface is very easy to navigate through. That's number one. Number two, it's easy to get results right out of the gate. You can start up a Facebook ad campaign in the morning, and then by the day's end, you're going to have leads. And it continues to produce. We have campaigns that have been running for weeks, for months, and they continue to produce leads each and every single week. And that's what you want for the ultimate easy mode business. Also, again, the cost per lead is relatively low. We're talking about cost per lead of $15 to $25 for nationwide leads. You can start off with budgets. I put here budget to $25 a day, but you can actually start with less. You can start routinely. We start off customers at $20 a day. And so it's a very forgiving platform for you not to only to get traction, but for you not to spend a ton of money, but yet still be in a position where you can get deals done. In addition to that, you can target broadly with Facebook. The way that Facebook works, it actually works better when you target broad than when you target in a very small geographic region. In fact, a lot of clients come and they say, hey, I want to target this particular county using Facebook. And we tell them you're going to be wasting your money. You got to target broad. By broad meaning you're going to be targeting, if you're on a very, very low budget, $20 a day or less per day, then I recommend you go nationwide. That's going to give you the most set of leads and also the lowest cost per lead. However, you can then, if you had a little bit more money to spend, say $35 a day, $40 a day, then you can target states. We have a list of 16 states that we target. You can target those states. You'll get less leads in rural areas, and your cost per lead will increase slightly. But this is good. However, if you're just starting out brand new from scratch, then $20 a day nationwide is going to get you started really well. In addition to that, there's so many tools that Facebook has to make things easier. They have built-in lead collection so that you don't need a landing page. A lot of times, with some of these other platforms like Google, they require a lot in money in order to get them to work. Also, because of the fact that you have to optimize your landing page, and that's another variable that if it isn't correct, then you're not going to have success in the platform. With Facebook, that is completely eliminated. They have they have tools internally that you can use rather easily and quickly in order to get your campaigns up and running. In addition to that, it's very easy to create ads. We use Canva. You can go to canva.com or use CapCut, which is a video editing software. So it's very easy to create ads. In fact, if you're interested, you should hit the link in the description, because we could help you in setting all of this up so you don't have to worry about a thing. Everything is set up, and within 2 days, you have leads coming in from your Facebook ads. So if you're interested, please reach out. But even if you're doing it yourself, it's quite easy. And again, the learning curve is minimal. Once, one of the things we do for clients is we set everything up, and then they take over, and then they start running the ads. And it's like building a car. If you wanted to buy a car, you don't go to the dealer and the dealer gives you a box and says, hey, go build your car. The dealer gives you the car, and then now you are the one that drives it, and they give you an owner's manual. The same principle here. Once you set this up, then the amount of work required on a continuous basis, say on a weekly basis, is probably 30 minutes a week in order for you to manage the campaigns effectively and make sure they're running and make some minor tweaks and adjustments as necessary. And again, the leads range anywhere from $15 to $25, depending on the geography. And just to give you an example, this is a nationwide campaign for one of our clients, 10 leads at $13 a lead, $138. And here's the other thing that I didn't mention is that when you're doing online marketing, you have a machine that is working for you when you're not. Now, you could argue, well, Chico, I have a bunch of cold callers. They're working when I'm not. Maybe, who knows? But you still have to manage them. Like, they got to go to the bathroom. They got to go get fed. They have a sick day. All of that's junk. In the ad space, it's a computer. It's a laptop. It runs 24/7. It's never wants a day off, never wants to go to the bathroom, never wants lunch. It's an amazing employee. So that's a great thing, is you could have this built, and then it's running behind and the scenes behind you, running behind the scenes and providing you leads. And so I made this video because I believe that 2025 is going to be an amazing year for wholesaling. And I really believe that if you play your cards right and you implement the appropriate model, you could have tremendous success. And I want you to have success. I want you to have easy success. And that's why I'm a big fan of the easy mode in wholesaling. Get rid of the old stuff. Get rid of the old traditional ways of doing things. And if you're interested to know more about how we generate these leads, check out one of the videos that'll pop up here or there. And that way I could teach you more.